Hi, this is Judy Miller with the Urbana Park District. I'm here at the Perkins Road site, which is owned by the Sanitary District and managed by the Urbana Park District. I'm at the top of the hill on the gravel drive from behind the dog park on Perkins Road. Here we have a view of both the upland prairie and the hills down into the wet prairie. We're going to go down and take a look at some other views. Here we are at Perkins Road site. This is property owned by the Sanitary District and leased to the Urbana Park District. I'm just at the bottom of the hill, right to the entrance to where we have spent the last several years restoring this site. I'll be taking a couple views at different points, like I am just now. Good afternoon, this is Judy Miller. I'm with the Urbana Park District, the Environmental Program Manager, and I'm at the Perkins Road site. It's a location that the Park District has been working with the Sanitary District on restoring from brownscape, where they used to store sediment, and now into green space that will eventually be a park sometime in the next year or so. We're looking at the pond. This was just recently restored in the last year. We're facing northeast. The edge of the property where you see the tree line is where the Weber Park site is, which our archery club uses. We're now facing south, and this is the tree line with the saline branch just behind it. The Perkins Road site is not open to the public just yet. It's located on Perkins Road, just behind the dog park. It is a fenced, locked site. We do periodically have a hike that goes on in here. We'll be doing a virtual one coming up this fall. Right now we're facing north. The section that we're looking at is an upland prairie that was restored about 10 years ago. Here's the pond again. Showing the tree line that borders the park with Weber Park. And the tree line, which is at the top of the hill, the ridge, for where the saline branch is. We've done an aggressive removal of invasive species in here and created a more open wooded area. I'm now up near the top of that prairie that I showed you a moment ago. Here's where we've been removing invasive species out of the grove of trees. And then in front of us is a wet prairie, almost a marsh. It has water in it in the spring and when we've had high rains. And it's bordered by this upland prairie. One of the things that we'll be doing over the next year or so is an interpretive and planning project to determine where trails will go and where interpretive information will go. I'm on top of the prairie, more in the center now. The wet prairie's down the hill this direction. Just in front of me on the west side of the property is more of the wet prairie. And then on top of the hill here, we have this little indent, which becomes a seasonal pond in the springtime, surrounded by some willows. To the east and just beyond where I'm standing is the pond that we saw earlier. There's that circle of willows. I've come down from the upland prairie a bit north, where the road takes you out of the area. Here's the pond again, which when I was out here a couple days ago had Canada geese. You can hear killdeers flying over. the tree line again to Weber Park. The season is changing in the prairie from summer into fall. Growing here, these rather large leaves and somewhat tall plants. Our compass plant, a type of sunflower. There's one in the distance still blooming. A couple weeks ago, it was solid sunflowers. Very beautiful. The sunflowers will orient themselves to the east, so it's a nice way to find your way if you lose your direction in the tall grasses of the prairie. Here's the compass plant still in bloom. With its leaves. In the field south of the pond, there's a little bit of an indent where water can be retained, and also a pile of rocks. There were several piles of rocks around the site, and to create a habitat, the Park District moved these rocks into one location, and we've created a snake habitat. Lots of people don't like snakes because evolutionarily, we are disposed to be afraid of them because they're a predator. But in this instance, we want to have snakes here because they help keep down the rodent population. We're hoping that we'll have fox snakes roosting in here under the rocks. It's a nice place for them to go when it gets too hot. And then in the winter, when they hibernate, they'll go in the ground underneath these rocks as well. Thanks for joining me here at Perkins Road site to see a glimpse of what will be coming in the future. Stay tuned to the Park District's website and the Nature Center's social media for announcements for additional hikes that we'll be taking, at least virtually, and then once the pandemic is over, in person.